Hi, I'm Randy Altman with postPerspective. We're here live from NAB 2015. I have Snell and Quantel's Neil Maycock here, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about this merger that happened about a year ago and the progress of that merger. So let's dig into that first, and then we'll get into some products.
Okay, so we had quite a few questions at the time why the two businesses came together, because they didn't seem an obvious match. If you look at sort of Quantel in the production area and Snell more around distribution and live programming. But we actually had common financial investors, and it was bringing the two businesses together was really about leveraging the opportunities to scale inside the business. So yeah, we're a year in. Frankly, I don't think the integration has happened at the pace we would have liked it to, which is really why we now have a new CEO as of a month ago, and I have to say the energy in the company has just shot through the roof with the arrival of Tim.
And so this is Tim Thorstensen,
Yes.
who has a very rich past in the industry and at some broadcast companies.
Absolutely, and I think there's been more integration in the business in the last 5 weeks than we have in preceding years. So it's been quite an exciting period. And Tim is here on an agenda the investors put in. It's an aggressive growth agenda for us, and which is great. So in that first month, we've opened up vacancies which will expand our R&D capability by 20%.
Wow.
And that's just the first pass in the first month. So there's really serious commitment behind this. I think we've been, I'll be polite, we've been quiet in the market in terms of having a voice and publicity, etc. We're going to see a step change there. We're going to be out there and raising the profile of the business, which is part of my agenda. So
right.
we're doing that.
But all along, you have been progressing with the technology that you both are creating.
Yeah.
And I do see some, Quantel does the broadcast and the post-production as well. So I do see how it would fit in really well. And I do remember when the acquisition or merger first happened, you guys are not far from each other in the UK.
Yeah, we're not far, so we've been able to consolidate to a single main site in the UK, which was good. And the other great thing, there's literally no product line overlap. So it's a complete add. We haven't had to do any rationalization or cuts or anything like that. It was literally add the businesses and then grow. And so the growth hasn't been where we would have liked it over last year, but suddenly Tim's jumped on that agenda, so it's great.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of synergies with the technology, no product overlap, so the sort of the ingredients for a really strong business are fantastic right now.
Okay, well, do you want to, I know that what I find interesting the migration to IP.
Yeah.
So do you want to touch on that and then maybe get into some of the post-production stuff?
Yeah, of course. So I think on the IP thing, I think the key word there is migration. I think we've got a very strong story in terms of what we're doing. And the essence of that is that if you look at the customer base, it's really fragmented. So we've got businesses that have barely just made it to HD, through to big corporates that want to put everything in a data center and everything in between. And IP is not going to be a flip of the switch overnight. We need to facilitate customers moving at a pace that suits their business. So our strategy is that we want to leverage the opportunities of off-the-shelf IP. So we don't want to start, reinventing IP switches. Cisco and those big guys, they make great switches. It's a huge market. We want to leap on that technology curve, and then we do all the sort of media-centric stuff around the edge of that. So all the horrible technical stuff that we do to make nice pictures, so clean switching, synchronization, all those media-centric things we do around the edge. So what in this world we'd say a traditional rounding switcher would be at the core of the facility. We now see that more as a key edge device, so it's a gateway. So what we're doing with our ranges is right now you could buy a full SDI router from us, and then literally card by card you can swap inputs and outputs to IP, and you can start migrating. So if we look back in time with the, say where we're analog to digital, You had analog plants, then you introduced little islands of digital, and over time it became a digital plant with little islands of analog. It's going to be the same with SDI and IP. So you'll start with SDI plant, there'll be little bits of IP around, and gradually over time IP will become the dominant infrastructure.
Swap out.
And we can literally do that with our routers, our modular terminal gear, our switches, our production systems. You can just migrate the technology that fits your business needs. I think that's the key thing.
Okay, great. Let's dig into post a little bit. I know that at your press conference you were talking about being able to do 8K for post.
Yeah.
Can you? Not a ton of people are doing that yet.
That's right, and we're showing that on the booth, real-time editing, color correction, grading, all in 8K 60p. And for me, that's great. It's really interesting. Frankly, the worldwide market might be sort of 3 or 4 customers right now.
Right.
So it's much more a statement about if we can do 8K, then the 4K, 6K workflows that we've talked about really aren't a challenge for us underlying systems. So our technology, if we're running at 8K, 60p, then 4K we can do, and it's not going to be challenging. We've got the performance there to do it. And we did some sort of quite high profile. So did an event in the States around the Gone Girl movie, which was a 6K production.
David Fincher, yes.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
that was that's really interesting. So producing in 6K for a 4K output. So the optimization of the workflow. So being able to crop up the 4K picture out of a 6K shot, so the camera angles are out or the camera position is off, you don't have to reshoot the scene. So the efficiencies by having the resolution at source that you can then, in terms of production, it saves a lot of time and a lot of money in the production of the film. So it's quite.
So Pablo was used on that.
That's
film, right? That was a Light Iron was using it.
Yes,
Michael
Light
Cioni
Iron.
and group. So what's new with Pablo Rio and
So
that line?
again, it's expanding the capability. It's scaling up to the 8K capability. So even though we don't see a big 8K market, it's not about 8K. It's about being able to do everything in between. So it's the key thing about Pablo is that it's not just color and grading, it's editing as well. So it's about being able to do the full workflow on a single device. So in terms of sitting there with a client, you can fix it. You can even open up sort of historic Quantel paint shop and then just sort of fix things up in live in a session. It's about that real-time performance with Pablo. So you don't have to go off to another system. You don't have to work in proxies. Everything full resolution, real-time. Grading through editing and fixes all in the suite. So that's the key message about Pablo.
Okay, well.
One other thing though.
Okay.
So Quantel has, and I can happily acknowledge this now, may have had a reputation of being just a little bit expensive, like significantly out of kilter with the market, and we've addressed that right now. So one of the things we're doing is getting some strongly market-orientated pricing around our products. So there's significant movement on the cost of the Pablo system. So our entry-level pricing is much more accessible to a much sort of broader market now, and then it scales up. 8K not so cheap, but
Right, but the cost of entry is
entry
a lot
levels
lower.
come right down. So I think one of the messages we want to get out there, whether it's in post or it's in the television production side, if mentally you rule Quantel out as being great, but I can't afford that, come and have a look. I think people will be quite surprised with the affordability of the products now.
Very cool. And then in September, before I let you go, in September we should expect a new name for the company, the merged
Yeah, so
companies.
we wanted to run with a period with the two brands, but frankly, that over a long period, that's going to get clumsy. So there'll be a single name. I can't give you any hints what it will be,
But by IBC, we should expect to see
IBC,
a new
you'll
brand.
see a new identity and a whole new repositioning of the business.
Fantastic. Neil, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's Randy Altman, Post Perspective, NAB 2015. Take care.